thing. Overexposure.
Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Furby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Diana, join me on the Lall Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Lall Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
Hi there, welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Lall Show right here on Kaieteur Radio, frequencies 99.1 and 99.5 FM. And those of you joining us on our online platforms, we say thank you for joining us, and we hope you guys are going to, stay with us here as we continue the Lall Show. Remember, we come here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 19 hours 20. It is time, without further delay, to hand you over to the man of the moment who's going to make tonight's presentation. Sir, namaste, and the floor is yours.
Namaste, Joshua. Namaste to all of you guys.
Namaste.
Tonight I'm going to do, like I promised, half an hour program, and I'll leave the other half an hour for us to have this public debate, this frank discussion. I'm going to leave the half hour, Josh, for the listeners to have their say. I have promised I'm not going to do an hour program based on the advice of my doctor, so I'm going to stick with that as of today. And Josh, an hour program takes a lot out of me, and it also takes a lot out of the listeners too. Yeah. All these information that you give when the program come around, a whole hour, it really takes a toll on people's mind and their soul. 2-3 people tell me that they don't sleep after listening to the program. And it's not nice to do them that. Mm-hmm. But, the dilemma this country face, it's so difficult to use half an hour to bring out all the information that's happening in this country on a daily basis. Much as 3 half-hour program of a whole week's issues and events. Bernard, it's difficult, right? Every day, if I am to use the stories that we churn out in the newspapers, it will take you 3-4 hours to explain to a nation what's going on. Definitely. But I'm not going to go kill myself behind and deteriorate my health, on what's going on. No, so the doctor say if I want to be around quite some time, take your time and go slowly, and give you guys a little at a time. I hope you enjoyed tonight's program, because I can tell you by beginning, the leaders, I am convinced that the leaders are not working in the best interest of the country and you, the citizens of this beautiful Guyana, with our resources, with our wealth. No, they are not working in the best interest of that. They are not that stupid, guys, not to know that in a 50-50 partnership business, both parties have a say. But
definitely, yes.
They can't be that stupid to have ExxonMobil spending billions of American dollars and throw it at us, which all those billions has to come out from our assets and not checking it, man. No.
Definitely.
No. something got to be wrong. You cannot say these leaders don't know that no foreigner can take away our assets without paying that taxes. Taxes. Come on, man. Taxes. Everybody on earth pay taxes. You allowing foreigners to come in your country, fetching out your assets, your wealth, and these people are not paying a single cent taxes, man? Is that so numb and dumb of our leaders? Huh? No, man, something is wrong there. Uncle and auntie, I can name 100 more things that is going wrong in this country where our assets and our future reside. But I just share those 3 for tonight, for you to keep in your memory. And these leaders are not doing anything to benefit the Guyanese people. When last you hear a word, Miss Harris, from them on this $1 trillion oil business?
Not this year, not last year.
It's against this background, Mr. Ray, this wall of silence, that I have concluded, and you don't have to agree with me, man, don't, that they are selling out every inch of our land, every ounce of our gold, diamond, bauxite, timber, and now every drop of your oil to the foreigners for their own selfish and greedy gains. Anybody disagree with that?
No.
Joshua? When reputable international analysts in the oil sector can constantly warn a nation and its people to get a grip of themselves with their oil contracts, and the leaders of that nation pays no heed or respond to these experts, it leaves people like myself to question what really is the motive of these leaders. Whose interest these people really working for? Auntie, just a few days ago, 2 analysts from the USA, one of them used to run the entire state of New York and had thousands of employees under his command, said that Guyana is in a weak position, that Exxon contract, a weak position with Exxon contract, and warn that if Guyana is to get some money from the oil out there and get the citizens of this country, or give the citizens of this country a better life, then Guyana has to correct the fatal flaws we have in that ExxonMobil contract. Both analysts give examples of what has and still continues to happen in Angola, and is actually begging our leaders and all the Guyanese citizens to take note of what's playing out in that country. And if we were to get money from our wealth out there, the people actually begging us to take note of Angola. The oil analysts say Angola found oil in 1955, Miss Harris. 1955. And they only started pumping oil in 1990. And right away Angola jumped up on the world stage, pumping oil in 1990. Of course, the kingpins of the oil industry were there, and still there. ExxonMobil, British Petroleum, Chevron, Total, ENI, and a number of other oil players. Yes. They're pumping oil. Angola began pumping 1.9 million barrels a day. And only last year, 2021, they went down to 1.4 million barrels per day. Did you guys see the amount of oil being pumped out of Angola daily from since they began 31 years ago, Harris? Huh? 2 million barrel per day. It's only last year they went down to 1.4. Hear this one, Ms. Harris. Angola is ranked at number 15 in the world of top oil producers. And where is Angola today, Mr. Ray? You have an idea? After 31 years of pumping 1.9 million barrel a day, at the end of 2020, Angola has a debt of 76 billion American dollars. What does that tell you, Ms. Harris?
That's our future.
What does that tell Guyana? That will be pumping close to 1 million barrel a day come 2025. Mark my words today, Uncle. The 6th day of April 2022, under these leaders and with this contract arrangement, Guyana will be worse off than Angola 31 years from now.
Definitely. 100%. Definitely.
Any bets?
Definitely. I'm not betting against you.
And if you don't want to bet me, prove me wrong. 2267453 or 2267454. I'll take the calls. Raj, if the phone ring, I'm going to take it. I am challenging the Vice President Jagdeo and the Minister Vikram Bharat along with the opposition leaders to put one of them people, one of your what do you call them? Stooges to call if you guys don't want to call and prove me wrong. Any calls come through there? Or you can call my cell phone 624-6456 or WhatsApp 622-2222. I'll answer it. I'll stop the program to answer that. Listen more, Bernard, of where Angola finds itself today. The analysts, the oil experts said, with the help of the IMF, the World Bank, African Development Bank, and other financial banking institutions, Angola has managed to juggle its year-to-year obligations with a combination of refinanced or forgiven debts. They're juggling the day-to-day life, actually, the people say. Simply put, Uncle and Auntie, refinance means when you can't pay the bank, you have to go back to them and get them to change up the payment terms to suit your pocket. Yes. That's what refinance means. It didn't change the amount. You hear me? They change up the timing of your payments. And when you do that, it's more pressure you're putting on yourself and your family. Or, if the bank's sorry for you, then they can write off some of the loan to help you ease the pressure.
No, that's some of the interest, not the loan.
That is where Angola finds itself today. When analysts did a little background check on Angola, they found out that the country recently entered the G20 Debt Service Suspension Initiative. You hear the one?
That's a lovely.
Yeah, man. That is an organization, Uncle, that is designed to assist countries in financial distress. Yes. That organization was set up in May 2020. Let me repeat the thing, man. James, that G20 financial institution was set up in May 2020 for help people in financial distress. So, and that's where Angola gone. I didn't notice, we carried this story in Kaieteur News 2-3 days ago. That's how I'm picking it up to explain to the nation. Yes. Yeah. Guyana, with this corrupt path we on, soon will end up right in that same G20 debt suspension program. And we didn't even start pumping oil yet.
Definitely. Definitely.
Without doubt.
Mr. Ray Daggers, sir, imagine Angola pumping 2 million barrels of oil per day, getting, listen to this one, 20 to 24% royalties plus taxes, and them running to the G20 organization. Forgive them money for feed themselves. I gotta love Guyana.
I don't think it's none for laugh about.
Eh? Man, you know what they did to them? It's the oil companies them do these people that. Listen more, man, and you will learn. Guyana, uncle, may have to run to all the international, yes, lending agencies or helping agencies, not the G20 alone. With that 2% and no taxes, these morons, these clowns settle for. Yeah. What is also shocking about that oil-rich country is that 1 in every 3 Angolan lives, yes, 1 in every 3 Angolan lives below the poverty level. And more than half of the population, which is 33 million people, live on less than $1.90. Now 400 Guyana dollar a day. Yes. Today as I speak, now as I speak, with that 20% royalty, taxes, and 1.4 million barrel de pumping per day. Them still got how much? Oh, you remember how much that? 76 billion American dollar. How much that Guyana got? 3?
3.
Man, wait 31 years
You
from
get it
now.
all.
Wait, you're going to hear.
Yeah, so sure.
That's exactly what he's saying.
The 2 analysts them said that is based on an unbalanced economy and corrupt government that created those conditions in Angola. You hear them? You hear them, Mr. Ray?
Yes.
They talked about unbalanced economy and corrupt government. We ain't even got an economy.
You got to go with the show though.
We have a government.
Yep.
We have a cake shop running with an extreme corrupt government and opposition. Everything is corrupt in this land. And corruption is from top to bottom in this country. You give some of these leaders a chance, they would even steal your underwear. That's how greedy and glutton they are. There's nothing to laugh about here, Uncle and Auntie.
Exactly.
Please. That's who they are. I try not to use words or sentences or phrases or paragraphs to make people laugh. Don't laugh about it.
It's not funny.
Dave, nothing here is funny. They would steal your underwear if you put it on the line outside your house. That's how selfish and greedy most of them are. The people said during Angola's early stages in the oil business, Mr. James, exactly where Guyana is today, the early stage, Angola was led into a series of traps that included budget deficits, foreign indebtedness, political corruption and oil exploration and development contracts that have benefited corporations at Angola's expense. You hear me, man?
Guyana's getting no benefit.
Budget deficit, uncle, means your government spend more than they cater to spend. Then them borrow from foreign banks and indebt your country further to send you to your grave. Yes, at the G20 organization that they just set up. As for the contracts benefiting corporations at Angola expenses or expense, the people talking about the exploration contracts signed by our leaders with the oil companies to drill looking for oil at Guyana's expense. Yes. Signing on to contracts with ship builders and we have no say. Yes. Cutting deals for themselves. The daughter of Angolan president, the richest African woman in the African continent. Today as I speak, the new government in Angola is trying to recover the billions of US dollars she got in her bank accounts all over the world. Yeah, man. That has led the money she stole, she and her brother stole, has led to half of the population living with 400 Guyana dollars a day. That's an ongoing fight as I speak with the government of Angola to get back the money, to get back the money. England and France hold up a couple $100 million US dollars for your brother. Yes, that's the kind of money, that's the kind of deal they cut with the oil companies in Angola that give them those billions in their account that people can label them as the richest in Africa. It's the same thing already happening in this country, yes. In this same country with some of our leaders. And who the cap fit can draw the string. Yes. They might even want to run past the president daughter, yes, of Angola and become the richest Guyanese in this hemisphere. Trust me on that one. Knowing how greedy they are. I have been dealing with them for 28 years in this newspaper business. And I can pinpoint, I can identify each and every one of these corrupt leaders we have. I can call them by names. But I don't want lawsuit. I don't want no lawsuit. You see the Amelia Falls project they put in there and telling me it's a Chinese man on it? Oh. And if it should fall off the map, me and you, the citizen of this country, will have to pay them all the money? Yes. Just think for a moment. Just think for a moment if it's a Chinese man project that. No. It's not a Chinese man project. It is their project. So they don't want their money lose. If for God forbid it fall off the falls. Guyanese will have to pay them back. That's how they think. And I want to even know that Jagme wanted to bring the project since he was president. Let's move on. Let me just don't deviate. Let me give you the facts of what's going on in this country, what went on in Angola, so you can see the picture. You can see the mirror. You can see how it mirrors Guyana. Exxon charging us billions on those FPSOs. And our vice president saying nothing. He's just accepting it blindly in statements put out by ExxonMobil. Yes. Those are the type of costs that are filling the cooperation pockets in the billions at the expense of Guyana.
Yep.
Treason.
And those are the
Yeah,
type
treason too.
of the costs the analysts are warning us about. Yes. All those billions in costs that have to come out from we oil. And our Vice President Jagdeo is saying what? He disappointed that he couldn't find people for check 'em. Yes, for check it. Billions US dollar. This man just glanced over like it's nothing. I wonder if he does handle his own personal finances like that. Collecting bills from Mr. Sue, his tenant, without questioning and authorizing spendings on his properties. I don't think so. So why is he accepting these billions from ExxonMobil being thrown at us without a single word, without verification of them? Can he answer that? And it's not him alone, you know. The opposition is also silent. Total silent on all these things. They accepted Lisa 1 ship without that cost. They accepted Lisa 2
The
costs.
pre-contract cost also.
And it continues with Jagdeo here now.
Yeah.
And all of them gone silent. Uncle, the two analysts, the United States analyst, was very clear in saying, taking Angola's case into account, it may not be possible for Guyana to steer clear of a similar fate, especially when it continues to cling to that one-sided, no-sided contract that favors the 3 oil companies in Guyana, ExxonMobil, Hess, and CNOOC. Yes. Creating obstacles to growth and threatening to leave Guyana deeper in debt. Those are not Glenn's words. Those are the words and message from the oil exports, Uncle. We carried that story in the Kaieteur News just a few days ago. Did we hear anything from Bharat Jagdeo or Vikram Bharat or the opposition on that?
Nothing.
Not a single word. They do not answer their phones anymore, I am told. But they're reading the messages. But my people still messaging them. Let's see how long they will run and hide in their bedrooms, under their beds from the press and from Glenn Lall. Let's see. We carried another story in the Kaieteur News today that says Guyanese still in the dark on the leasing cost for the oil ships out there for Lisa 1, 2, and 3. Them ships, we don't know the leasing cost for them. All we know is that the first one cost 1 billion, the second 1.2 billion, and the third 1.6 billion. Yes, that's all we know the cost. What I say, them Guyana will have to pay. But the leasing cost for it, we don't know anything on that until now. Bharat Jagdeo not telling us how much we are paying to lease those 3 ships storing the oil. That is only one of the hundreds of state secrets we the people don't know or hearing anything about. Yes. What the expert said just now, Bernard, corporations and companies are benefiting from at the expense of Angola and Guyana. And now Bharat Jagdeo got and approved the 4th project, Yellowtail,
Only bargaining chip we had left.
in which ExxonMobil ordered another storage ship This one is bigger than the tree. This one is coming with extra compartments to hold not only oil but gas too, in case Guyana need extra gas for the gas to shore project Jack they embarking on. They put a special compartment in this fourth ship for whole gas for them. I laugh when I see that when I read that part in the document. Anyone really believe that this bigger ship that has compartments for gas really coming for whole gas? Come on, man. You gotta be a moron to believe that. Them compartments for whole more oil.
Yep.
What Guyana wouldn't know about. So when they tell you the ship full with 2 billion barrels, man, you better check it. You got 3 billion or 6 billion barrel.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, you don't want to know the price. This ship gonna cost Guyana. That one will be over 2 billion American dollars. Almost the debt that Guyana is living with all its life. I mean DEBT and not DEATH. The money we owe all we life. And Jack Dale, the man who heading the oil sector, and have no say on the cost. You hear that? $2 billion, about 2 billion. I'm betting my last dollar because Lisa 3 is 1.6. This fourth ship is, I'm going to bet my last dollar, is over $2 billion. And Jack, they have no say on it. And you have a 50-50 partner business. How you like that? Again, he accepting bills. Like when you're buying pig in bag. And nobody's saying anything in his land, man. Auntie, them named this fourth storage ship One Guyana. Well, this one we can laugh about, right? You hear the name? One Guyana. Like if me and you there in that. Like if it belongs to all of we getting something out of it. All we getting is a fat bill. And a leasing arrangement.
Yeah.
And when the oil is done, you still in own it. You know that, right? When the oil is done, you still in own it. Jack Dale, the opposition, or me and you, won't even own the flag. The Guyana flag. What they on it? What they put on it? Down to that we ain't own. The first one, the name of?
Yes.
Lisa Destiny. Our destiny. Yes. The second, Lisa Unity. Our unity. And the third one, Payara Prosperity. PP. Yes, it's Exxon Prosperity. Yes. They're making it look like if it's our prosperity. And the fourth one, One Guyana. The fifth one might name All Guyana. What you say, James?
Yeah, you could laugh at that.
Man, them names make you feel that every Guyanese is part of them ships and how much money we can get from them.
The right in a way.
No, when you hear the names, that's the only thing that can come to
In
mind.
terms of debts.
Yes.
Debts.
But you don't know if debts you are going into.
This will be a part of.
By 2031, listen this part, man. By 2031, when them done with the prices on everything, the oil we have out there will not be able to pay back the debts. We will still owe for the storage ships alone. Trust me on that one. Mark my words on it. And I would like somebody to prove me wrong on this. Again, we will not have enough money by 2031 to even pay for them the cost of them storage ships. This is the part I wanted to explain a little to you people. That $4 billion US for those 3 storage ships from Liza 1, 2, and 3. Don't think Guyana owns them. No. The money is for the people to start building it. When they bring it here, they're leasing it to us. So we ain't own them. And them say after so many years, we can buy it from them. When you hear things like that, you just want to laugh.
That's good business, eh?
That is what they do all over the world, Bernard. It's like, you want me make a boat for you? You give me $1 million. When I done and bring the boat to you, you pay me a monthly fee. And after 10 years, yes, they give you the option to buy it over from me. Yes. When the oil near done, you understand? The boat, after the 10 year or 12 year, the boat damage up. Yes. They're going to sell you it.
But they went to buy 10
Yeah.
boat.
They're going to sell you it. And if you're stupid, you're going to buy it. And after the oil is done, you're going to left in the Atlantic Ocean. That will cost you more to get rid of than you pay for it. This is one of the many tricks in the oil sector, my friend. Yes, that's what they do. That's what they do to many countries. When the oil near done, they hustle to pass it off on you and tell you, you know, you can buy it now, you know. You can buy it. And they work out a deal with your government, right? And your government tell the nation, well, we can buy it now, you know. Yeah. And fool the nation. They work out a deal, put some money in their bank account somewhere, and after 2-3 years, the oil done. People forget that the ship belongs to we, and we lose money.
Yeah, but they went to pay to buy 10
Yeah,
boat.
exactly.
Yes, exactly it.
Exactly. What the analysts are saying is that at the end of the lease, Guyana should have been owning this vessel because it would have cost us through our oil in excess of 2-3 billion American dollars for those patch-up boats. You know it's patch-up boats, right?
It's all boats.
We don't have to pay more billions than what Guyana owes all its life for 3 ships and didn't have a say. We didn't have a say, man. We don't pay for 3 ships and we had no say.
And you're 50-50 part then.
Yes. And don't know what is the leasing price on a business, Bernard, like you rightly say. We have a 50-50 profit sharing.
And we own the thing too. We own the thing.
Oh.
It's a saying.
We own the
Oh,
thing.
somebody got to help me here, Auntie. What happened to the phones? 226-7453. Nobody calling the phone? Huh? Yeah? 226-7454? Come on, man. With all these things I'm talking, you guys should have already been getting upset to pick up that phone and ring this phone to say, Glenn Lall, what are you saying?
The government listen to it, Glenn?
Huh?
The government and the opposition listen to it.
Everybody listens.
Kaieteur News reported yesterday. Listen to this one, Harris. Yesterday we reported that without ring fencing provision, yes, Guyana will lose out big time on every oil fine in this country. Yes. We will find ourselves in a dark hole worse than many of the African and Asian oil producing countries. We may not even have the 400 Guyana dollar to live on when the day come if that provision is not in place. You hear that, guys? Oil exports again warning Guyana. The longer we drag our feet on putting ring fencing provision in the Stabroek Block deal, the more the nation will continue to shortchange itself on every new discovery and with every project that comes on stream. You understand?
Yep.
We don't have the ring fencing provision in the Liza 1, in the Liza 2 project, in the Payara project, in the Yellowtail project, and now maybe they're going for the 5th project. And every other project, the people warning us that if you don't put it in, we're heading into a dark hole. The experts reminding us that installing the ring fencing provision would prevent ExxonMobil from deducting expenses associated with other projects from a field that is producing oil already. This is the current state of affairs for Liza 1. And without the government installing this provision, ExxonMobil will also now be able to deduct cost from Liza 2 and others since they start producing oil in them. With ExxonMobil being allowed to throw cost from other projects into the two producing projects, Guyana's share of profits will continue to be reduced. The experts warn that with all these new costs that ExxonMobil is throwing onto Guyana, the nation will continue to be cheated for the lifetime of the projects if that doesn't change. And the billions Guyana is expected to receive from all the oil fields will never, ever be materialized. You hear that? You hear that? These are what the experts are saying. Those are their words. The reason why these experts keep reminding our leaders the importance of ring fencing, it is because of the speed in which we are granting these projects one after the other. Yeah. These people are seeing the extreme danger that lies ahead for us, Uncle. Yes, lies ahead of us, the citizens of this country. Hence, they are warning us. I spoke so many times on this program on ring fencing, and I am tired. I tried not to talk about it again tonight. But when these international oil experts and analysts, foreigners who are looking out for our pockets and our country's well-being, how can I not use this program to refresh your memory on this important issue that Vice President Jagdeo, Vikram Bharat and your opposition is turning a blind eye to, man? Huh? How can I do that? So let me now, give me 2 minutes, let me break it down. What the experts said there, so you can get an understanding. I have done it many times. What is ring fencing? Auntie, is a barrier, is a fence that separates two businesses so that nothing should humbug each other. Nothing. Each business got to spend and make profits for itself. One can't depend on the other one. Each one should run independently and deal with its own expenses, its own profits. One should not depending on the other to operate. That is what ring fencing is all about. You cannot depend, one cannot depend on the other. As the owner of both businesses, you must be able to enjoy all the profits from each one of the businesses. That's how business operate, right?
Yep.
Huh? That's what the people actually saying. You got two cake shops. One on the house and one across the road. Each one should run independently, not true, man?
Yep.
Huh? The parents of Jagdeo and Granger got two cake shops. They give Jagdeo for run one downstairs and give Granger for run the other one across the road. Now, can Granger send he bill over to Jagdeo? No. Each one of them got to run their business and deal with their expenses and share their profits independently with daddy and mommy. Each one must stand on their own foot. That's how simple ring fencing is. Preventing Lisa 1, what pumping oil now, from paying Lisa 2 expenses. That is total nonsense. Total nonsense. Each one should and must pay their own expenses and make their own profits, man. That's how business operate. If Granger profit has to come out to pay expenses on Jagdeo cake shop, then Granger can't carry on profit for his parents. It will be short change.
Yeah.
Not true, man. Well, this is what these people say. We cannot allow the oil companies them to spend money all the time and throw in the bills that they're producing oil fields. No way. Them taking out billions from Lisa 1 that is pumping oil. They're going to take out another set of billions from Lisa 2 that is pumping oil for money them spending on Lisa 3 and Lisa 4 now. Come on, Guyana. Come on, man. We money gone.
Yeah.
The money you're supposed to get from Lisa 1 and Lisa 2, the people are saying gone. Being siphoned off.
Yeah.
Depleted, reduced to couscous or pennies. This is what the people warning a country to do. Man, that is something every market vendor who got two stall would do.
Yeah.
Or a cake shop owner. You want to tell me we leaders know that? Huh?
Okay.
Can any one of them call Glenn Lall on this phone and tell me that they don't know that? Huh? And why they're not stopping it?
Easy question.
Huh?
$1 million question you just asked.
Why they're not stopping it?
That's the question right there.
You got 10 billion already spent on Lisa 1 and 2. A 10 billion on Lisa 3. Another 10 going to spend on Lisa 4. And maybe another 20 going to spend on Lisa 5. And all this money are to come out in Lisa 1 or pumping oil now. Come on, man. Come on. What Guyana getting? You understand what I'm saying, Manat? This is why we can't get nothing. This is why this country can't see its way. This is what they did to Angola, Nigeria, Papua New Guinea, Chad, and all the rest of the countries. Huh?
You would think we learn.
Do you know why the oil companies behave like that? It is because they can rob the hell out of you this way. When I'm done with you, man, Guyana got $3 billion debt that I say just now. By the time the oil done, Guyana will be left with 300 billion American dollars.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
That is what these financial gurus them,
Exactly.
Ashni Singh, Bharat Jagdeo, Winston Jordan, Carl Greenwich them. Yes. These are the financial gurus they all have in this country, allowing that to happen to you people. It's not that Guyana would not be getting a little money, you know. Don't get confused with this thing. Yes. You're going to get a little money in your pocket. So please don't get confused or mix up with this thing. You remember that little 300-400 million a year what Jagdeo said Guyana can get? Yes. We will still get that, and we will even get double that. But at the end of the day, at the end of the oil, the debt you will be left with, due to the bills they keep throwing backwards onto these projects, man, you might not even get to live with 200 Guyana dollar 31 years from now. If these things are not put to a full stop, if you the people don't start speaking up, if you people don't wake up as to these glaring faults, skullduggery that is going on, and your leaders turning a blind eye, trust me, $200 too much for your grandchildren and great-grandchildren to live with. Come 2050, 2060. What make it worse, uncle and auntie, is that the bills them throwing onto Lisa 1 and Lisa 2 that is pumping oil. These morons not checking it. So you could imagine what ExxonMobil doing to us, eh? Right? The bills them are throw back onto these producing fields to pay. We are not even checking them, brother. Huh? And who's allowing this to happen? Bharat Jagdev and the opposition leaders. Granger sit down quietly in a corner. And he not saying anything. But he's still the leader of the list in Parliament. He not saying a word. I don't know who it is yet, because it seems to be they have some confusion going on with the opposition leader. And President Ali seems to be numb. He confused or he dumb on all this wagala. I always remember Keith Rowley, Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister. The man said TT were losing billions through the fingers while they were sleeping at the wheels. Uncle, our leaders are not sleeping at the wheels. They are in an unconscious state or in a coma. By the time they wake up, if they do wake up, not only ExxonMobil and the oil and the oil would have disappeared, but the country would have gone with them too. Where or what will happen to you and your children? Would you even have a country to live in? James, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. I'm going home early and sleep. I promise half hour so that we can have this interaction with the phone and your messages. Miss Harris, you reading the comments? How many we have there? I'm ready for them.
You want to hear some?
Yes, I'm ready for them.
So,
I'm ready for them. Let me take a sip of this cinnamon tea they give me.
all right.
Thank you, Miss Martley, for the tea.
So, a lot of people have been raising the opposition. They're saying that you are basically the voice, you're representing the opposition. And why is the opposition not mentioning anything about the oil? So, would you care to give us your thoughts on that?
I have been saying that thing over and over. I've talked that thing 20 times today. That's not a question for me to answer. I have said the government and the entire opposition has gone numb, dumb, silent, or they're in an unconscious state where the oil and our resources are concerned. What else can I say about that? You tell me. Can any one of you on the panel answer that question? I can. Yes, go ahead. I cut this program halfway.
They're saying, all right, somebody's saying, I don't know what is wrong with the other media houses and opposition parties with all this information being disclosed by Mr. Lall, still they are silent. Something is definitely wrong with the majority of the people in this country.
No, I've answered that question a long time, and I keep answering that question many, many times on these programs. The rest of the media, right? If they are not aligned with the opposition, or if they are not aligned with the government, they do not understand what is going on in the oil industry. So it's a difficult thing, and you just can't blame them. Chris, you're live on the air. Yes. Yes, take the call.
You have a caller. Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Hello?
What happened to the comments? You want to tell me that the opposition.
Caller, good evening and welcome. 1 second. Hello?
Hello?
Good night.
Hello. The Glenn Lall Show?
Speak up, let's get going. Come on.
Yes, the Glenn Lall Show. It's totally correct.
I am live on the radio.
Hello?
Speak up.
We lost that caller there.
When
Remember,
you
can
call, we are hearing you loud and clear. Just speak up. Let's get going.
You can call us on 226-745-324. You can also call us on WhatsApp on 622-2222. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yes. Why do you think ExxonMobil could come into Guyana and do all of this? Is because the government of this country, as Mr. Glenn Lall said earlier, they're not sleeping, they're in a coma. Jack Dale and all of them is in a coma right now. They're in a coma, and ExxonMobil could take the whole of Guyana with them, and these people don't care anything. I want to know if when 3, 4, and 5 started to produce oil, if they go pay back 1 and 2 day money what they spend on it. I don't think they're going to do that.
No. When 3 and 4 started pumping, they will be paying bills for 5 and 6.
Exactly.
And when 5 and 6 start pumping, they will be paying bills for 7 and 8. And it's a continuous thing. So by the end of it all, they're still paying bills.
And Jack Dale got so much education and actually seeing the big finance minister, so much education, and you keep telling these people about the string fencing over. Come on, they can't wake up in a coma now. They're not listening.
Jack Dale knows fully well what he's doing.
These people crazy.
My friend, these guys know exactly what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing because they got 1 and 2. You know how much money they don't thief out. They said they're paying for 3, 4, and 5. Mm-hmm. You know how much money for 1 and 2 don't they in them pocket? They're paying for 3, 4, and 5. They think people stupid.
Exactly.
Chinese people need to wake up. And let me tell you something, Mr. Glenn Lall, I blame the AFC 100% for all this nonsense going on.
Wait, you still have AFC?
Had this country in a hung parliament, AFC could have made all decisions and pass all bills what they want, but no, they want to join up for get power and get this country into this nonsense here. We need a proper third force party to get back into parliament and put that parliament in a hung parliament so the government don't have all the saying.
Are you saying we should hang the parliament?
We should hang the government and all of them who are making these decisions. Then we should hang, not the parliament.
Well, I don't have a problem. If I could hang the government and if I could hang the parliament, I'd love to do that.
I join you for that.
All right.
All right, Mr. Granlai, you have a good night and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. You gotta find rope for help me hang parliament.
All traitors, man. Hang out traitors.
Somebody says here, imagine you audit 500 and something billion Guyana dollars for the country's budget, but you can't audit 10 billion US dollars from Exxon. He didn't have to audit $500 billion, just $10 billion. Plus, he admitted he had two teams, Jack Deo and the president, and President Ali is a full disgrace to Guyana.
I want to add the opposition to that too.
Definitely, most definitely. They're part of it.
They're all a disgrace.
They're a big part of it.
Somebody says,
They started it.
somebody said BJ and the opposition put a ring fencing around the Guyanese. They must not have a clue what's going on.
No, they put a ring
Exactly.
they put a ring around nose in other parts of us.
Indeed.
Come on, if you guys gonna speak, I'd like you to take the mic. Right?
You have a caller here.
Yeah, take the call.
Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Get them out.
Good night to you, especially Mr. Lall.
Go ahead.
Good night to you, sir. I'm listening to you. I heard you. What I want Mr. Lall to know is that this is a pirate country. Mr. Lall. Mr. Lall.
Speak on. Let's get going, man. Speak on.
This country is a pirate country. Thief, lies, go university, get your paper. You become a big thief, nobody can do you nothing. The president got subdued to the white man, say all the people if he come out of office. Then got the thief. You don't see it every day. Guyanese people are helpless. The poor, the education standard low. The government hold them at that. They're lost in the world. The best choice for them is to migrate. That is a scare drain. You're doing a good job. What, you're alone good in this country? Watch somebody more, no go on and just stay silent and subdue for getting contract. Thieving money.
I agree with you.
This country a beautiful country, but understand what go on. This pirate country since Columbus. Look, 23 years the PPP run this country and got him back again. And Jack Deo, the big economist. And Jack Deo make the guy dollar tumble and tumble and tumble and tumble.
The Guyana dollar, 1 second. The Guyana dollar should have already been like 5 or 10 to 1 to the US.
Of course. But the great economist that we have, the champion award, the doctor.
You know why we're not there? Let me tell you why we're not there. Because the local content what the Guyanese people should have been doing right now as I speak. Non-government, the previous government and the present government, the leaders of this country did not notify or educate the nation, the citizens of this country to get ready, to hear, to say, listen, get shore bases, get service centers, supply ships, get your trucks, and all these things going. No, they didn't.
No, Mr. Lall, they don't have to educate the population. They have to exploit the population. Let the population wait. Jack Deo tell Irfan Ali to tell the people, wait on me, I will make this show you the cow will jump over the moon.
I hear you, but you cut me when I was trying to tell you that if the Guyanese people were notified, this oil industry is very new to Guyana. The oil sector is so gigantic that it takes countries 30, 40, 50 years to know what Glenn Lall is saying here. And we only begin pumping oil 3 years now. So I am saying, had our government care for the people and this country and wanted to lift this country upwards, they should have informed the nation to prepare. But instead, all the local content jobs, the foreigners are doing it themselves. ExxonMobil is doing it themselves. So no US dollars coming here. Had we doing it, they would have paid us in American dollars. But we are not getting anything. We are getting paid Guyana dollars. as workers, as cleaners, as baggage carriers. This is why we're not going to get anywhere. That's what I wanted to make very clear for you to understand. Yeah, go ahead. Messages, phone calls.
Calling. Oh, we lost that caller. Those numbers, in case you might have missed it, they are 226-7453 and 226-7454. You can also call us on WhatsApp on 622-2222, or feel free to drop your comment or your questions via our social media pages, Facebook, and of course we will definitely.
Bernard, do you want to say anything?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Right out. Glenn, our leaders are not trying to be like John F. Kennedy, who says, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. They are determined to be 100% like Sani Abacha of Nigeria, who stole 50 billion United States dollars from the oil money of Nigeria. Or Theodore Obiang and his son, right, from Equatorial Guinea, who's still stealing billions from the oil money. Or Dos Santos of Angola, which is Nina Dos Santos, the daughter of the former president. She's the richest woman in Africa right now. All those government people are the richest on the continent of Africa. Them and their family and their friends and their cronies. Only them. Like you said, the people of Africa, of Angola, of Nigeria, of Equatorial Guinea, they live on less than $2 per day. And the country is in debt and its destruction. That is the future of Guyana, unless we, the Guyanese people, come together as brothers in one. We are all Guyanese, whether you are whatever color or class, whatever you call yourself. I don't consider myself any. I consider myself Guyanese, only Guyanese. I don't deal with this Indo, Afro, whatever you call yourself, Guyanese. All of that does not matter. On this issue, when the white foreigners, the oil people come to exploit us, they don't see us as any different. They see all of us as those people to be exploited. We, the Guyanese people, have to come together, get to our senses, man. This is the 21st century. We have to come together as Guyanese to fight for our future, our children's future, right? Our leaders are disgrace to Cherry Jagan and Bonham. Cherry Jagan and Forrest Bummer kicked the exploiters out of this country. They nationalized the industry and they fought to get the people of this country what belongs to the people. Every natural resource of the country belongs to the citizens of this country. Guyanese, if you don't come together and fight for yourself, nobody's going to fight for you. The government is joining, the government and the opposition, they are joining with the foreigners to fight against you. All the Guyanese people have to come together, join your brothers and sisters, and fight for what belongs to you. Fight for a better future for your children. That's it, man. I'm done.
I hear you, Bernard. Thanks for your contribution. But I want to add a piece to what you said there. You talked about these African leaders and their children became filthy rich. I will tell you that back in the days when this was going on, and why this happened, it is because of knowledge. And technology kept all that away from us.
Yes.
But I don't think that can happen now. What is going on now in this 21st century with technology, it cannot happen the same way.
I agree with you.
The oil blocks, they said a giveaway. The money they said they receive from it, and who receive it, trust me, all these deals that they're making will come to light. Yeah. Trust me, and people are working, people are working behind the scenes to bring out all these things, and it's going to come out.
All the skullduggery the leaders in Africa did in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, they only got away that because people, like you said, the people did not know what was going on.
Yeah.
But in these days, with the technology and the cell phones, everything is up on Google. You can Google everything. You know all the modus. You know how the modus operandi. You know how the governments use things to steal from the people and get away with it. But we cannot allow them to get away with this in the 21st century, man. There's a lot of intelligent people, but there's a lot of all the intelligent people in Guyana, the lawyers, the business people. It seems like they are getting paid and they are comfortable and they are bought and paid for. But these things, we cannot allow this to happen. And this thing will not go on. The people the people will find out, and we cannot allow this to happen, man. The poor people need to benefit from this.
I hear you, Bernard. James, you want to say something? Take the mic and let's get going. Imagine I shoot 2 questions to the general public, and 3/4 of Guyana listening in their homes, and nobody has ring this phone.
No,
Wow.
that's okay.
Go ahead, James.
Previously, when the show started, right? Yeah, when the show started, you made mention to us that basically when exam come into a country, what they first do is line the politicians in their pocket, right? And this is showing to me personally that it's evident that this is what happening. Because we're not hearing nothing from the opposition, nothing from the government is not working on our behalf. So at least we expect the opposition now supposed to step up to the plate and work on. Nobody's working on our behalf. And the thing that hurts me the most is like, where the people of Guyana? Where are we? We still sleeping all out. I think we as the people in the coma, not the government, because we know on whose behalf the government and the opposition is working.
Definitely.
Right? We see countries like Libya and all these countries, you know, the people come out and make a difference. They had rulers that ruled for years that we thought could not have been moved. But when the people come together and they unite and they stand up, the government topple. Right? So this is how we do. We call upon the people because let me tell you, the future for Guyana going forward, it don't look bright. Nothing tall about the future going forward look bright. And it's a sad and a scary sight. As Bob Marley said, those of us who could run, will run. But what about those who can't? There's who we got to calculate about. It's just sad, brother. Very sad.
The future looks bright for ExxonMobil shareholders, though. That's for sure. ExxonMobil's Hess and CNOOC shareholders look very bright.
Oh, their shareholders, they have been making money from the beginning of the discovery. Exxon just had to announce they find oil, and they have been making money on it.
Every single discovery adds to the money, more money they get into.
And what Guyanese are getting?
Promises.
Not even promises we are getting these days. Nothing. You know here, it's total silence in this land.
We're fortunate that we still have some experts, financial experts, who are still interested in what's happening in Guyana, because these people would have been around to see the rise and fall of places like Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Central African Republic, and the list goes on. And despite all the warnings, despite all the IMF programs, despite all the World Bank programs that assist these countries, where are many of them today? So what, in some senses, what's the point of having intervention from the IMF and the World Bank when the countries end up in the same situation had they not gotten that help?
Yeah.
I say that to say this. Guyana is in a very precarious position because despite all of the warnings and despite the poor contract that we have to work with, we're still charging ahead as though everything has been put in place for this oil story to be a success. And it won't be. It won't be. Not many of the countries who have had the benefit of expert assistance and expertise, people, technocrats coming into work for the oil sector, a lot of them still couldn't buck the resource curse or the oil curse. So Guyana that flat out refuses to take expert advice, Guyana that has a horrible contract, we steaming ahead with, 10 FPSOs by 2030.
That's what they say.
Yeah, amid promises of becoming carbon neutral or cutting emissions by 70%. So it should just go to show the Guyanese public, if you people are happy with your lot in life, then please continue to slumber. But it's hard to sleep when you're hungry. And that discomfort alone should want to make these people stand up for themselves. In any case, we're organizing a protest for the next court hearing. I think it's on the 22nd, but once we confirm when the hearing is, I'll put the word out when we're going to have another protest, most likely at the High Court whilst the hearing is going on.
Well, with that said, we gone past our hour. And I see Joshua raising his hands, showing us, hey, get off the radio. So with that, thanks for joining me. And I hope you guys had an interesting discussion. I think it was good. And let me say good night and God bless you guys. Until we meet again Friday, same time, same place. Encourage your neighbors and your friends to join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Have a good night.